Welcome back. This is Rick Wegley, and this is Ask NCM. And this is where we do our best to answer questions that come from our clients from around the country. This week, the question and topic that came up was about finding and retaining quality technicians. And I just about have to chuckle because every class we teach in every genre, whether it's general management or service management, nobody has enough qualified technicians, and everybody's looking for technicians all the time. It's not really like this is a new problem. For the last 20 years of my retail experience, going back 30 years, finding and retaining quality technicians has always been a problem. Okay, so where do we find these technicians? How do we retain these technicians? And what qualities are we looking for in a good technician? So my thoughts on that would be, first of all, when I'm looking for technicians, I'm looking for somebody who's got a good attitude, and I'm looking for somebody who's got good aptitude, the ability to learn. A lot of our clients have struggled with trying to go out and, if you will, conquest master technicians from other dealerships, and it just turns into, in most cases, a bidding war. You either get somebody a job or you get them a raise because the people don't want to lose them as well in their employees as far as their service staff goes. So my best practices for finding and retaining quality technicians and our best practice dealerships have really created the farm team, if you will, and they're growing their own technicians. Now, it does take time to do that. It can take a couple of years. It's not an overnight process. But again, if you find somebody with the attitude and the aptitude, you can develop quality technicians within your dealership. Okay, so as a sample of that, I have a best practice store that actually offers a 2-year paid apprenticeship program. They don't call it an entry-level technician, and they don't advertise it as a lube technician, but they're really trying to show these people a career path, particularly our younger people. You know, a lot of our older master technicians are baby boomers. They're going to be retiring within the next 8 to 10 years. So they're doing their best to capitalize on their experience and knowledge to help mentor and train younger technicians to get them into the business. So how are they doing that? Well, again, as I said, they're really advertising it more as a career path and an apprenticeship program as opposed to an entry-level express or lube technician program. Now, granted, when they do onboard these technicians and during the hiring process, they'll let them know they're going to be expected to work in the express bay operation for the first year of the employment at the dealership. And during that first 6 months of that first year, they're going to be expected to complete a certain amount of the factory training modules. For example, maybe 15 or 20 of the video modules, they have to be completed within the first 6 months. Now, because we're talking about the millennial generation for the most part, and a lot of these younger techs coming in and trying to get them engaged and you know, they like that work-life balance that we talk so much about, is that this particular dealership actually offers a week of paid vacation after the first 6 months of onboarding in the dealership. Now, to be honest with you, they lose about 50% of those technicians in the first 6 months because they find that they just don't have the work ethic, or they don't have a good attitude, or they don't have the aptitude to do the job. But when you think about the cost of that, if you're paying somebody in a $12 to $14 an hour range, a $650 to $700 expense for a week of vacation after a 6-month period of time is probably a lot less expensive than what we spend in trying to hire, onboard, recruit, and get these people trained outside the dealership. Okay, so in the second 6 months of their apprenticeship program, they actually roll them on into either move them into like a used car reconditioning assistant, or in some cases they may leave them in express but in an elevated pay level to encourage them to continue their education. And after the first year, they'll move them on into a apprenticeship with a master technician in the shop. So they want to kind of screen these people before they actually bring them into the shop to make sure that they're going to show up every day and that they've got a good attitude and that they have made the commitment to follow through and take all of the tests. So this particular store has actually fast-tracked a few of the technicians after the first 6 months right into a master apprenticeship program because they've displayed fantastic work ethic and good, again, attitude and aptitude. Okay, so as far as outside of that, where you find these people at, well, if you have a local community college or possibly even an advanced vocational technical school for high school, yes, they're young, they're 18, possibly just coming out of school, but getting them on board with the lube rack, getting them exposed to the industry, a little experience with the product on that. Again, see if you've got the material that you want to make the investment in to groom your own technicians. Other ways that you can kind of search for technicians, well, first of all, we should always be looking for technicians, always looking for technicians. You may find them coming into your parts counter to buy parts from you because they're doing work out of the garage or out of another shop. The tool trucks that roll through our lots on a weekly basis visiting with our technicians, they're also rolling through lots all around your community visiting with technicians, and they may just catch somebody on that day when they're having a bad day and say, hey, you know, XYZ Motors is really looking for good people. You'd fit the bill, give them a call. In some cases, there's even some bonuses involved with some of these tool vendors and such that are out there mingling with our competition who can attract some talent to our dealerships as well. So finding and retaining quality technicians technicians has always been a problem, and trust me, it's not going to become any easier in the future. All right, so do your best to be looking for talent all the time. Be prepared to give them some work-life balance, whether that is working 4 10 shifts or even possibly 3 13 shifts as opposed to a 5-day week is sometimes an option as well. So thanks for joining me this week on Ask NCM. I was hoping I was able to answer the questions that they brought up regarding finding and retaining quality technicians. And if you have a question that you'd like to see us address on a future episode of Ask NCM, please email your request to askncm@ncmassociates.com.